Thank you very much for the introduction. So my name is Homer. Omeros is the Greek version of Homer, Papadopoulos. I'm coming from NCSR Demokritos, where I'm a research center. It's a research center, and I'm a research director there, and I'm also co-founder of Synthesis. Also, I'm leading the working group of standards of QuIC, and that's why I'm here to present our activities and also explain the industry, the European industry perspective over the quantum standards and the quantum standard ecosystem. So this is what we are going to discuss today. We will go through the quantum ecosystem and the quantum momentum in Europe. Then we will discuss what exactly we are doing, what QuIC is doing. And then we will have a look at the strategy Europe is producing and generating in order to be prepared for the quantum future. And then we will have a look at the suggested process of European industry towards this standardization journey. This is the overview of the abstract of the presentation. The key takeaway from this presentation is I'm going to present the European industrial perspective towards quantum standards and the challenges we are facing as a quantum industry, European quantum industry, and what are our suggestions and recommendations. So this is the ecosystem. In Europe, we already have established a very strong ecosystem that involves projects like Flagship. It's the main project that is leading the quantum research in Europe, but other projects as well, like EuroQCI, which is the project, the European project that is trying to develop quantum communication networks around Europe. The EuroHPC, that is also a very big project that is trying to connect high-performance computers with quantum computers as well. But also we have other tools in our hands as Europe to support this ecosystem. We are producing reports and acts like the CHIPS Act. We have produced, as Europe, the quantum strategy now. And also there are other supportive tools to support mainly the research through the project domain, like Marie Curie tool, ERC tools, Horizon tools, etc. So what is QuIC, and what exactly is its role? What is QuIC? QuIC is just an industry alliance. It's a group of industrial partners coming from the domain of quantum, and not only from this domain, as I will explain later. QuIC establishes its own operations just 4 years ago, 2021. And its mission is very simple. It's to strengthen the European industry, quantum industry, and position Europe as a leader in this section worldwide. The method, if you ask me what QuIC is doing, what is the activities we are having, QuIC is just a platform, a hub. Okay, thank you. It's just a platform, it's just a hub where the partners cooperate, exchange opinions, get informed, and produce reports, white papers, recommendations to support either standardization bodies or European Commission. So this is what we are doing in QuIC. Okay, the members of QuIC are mainly industrial partners coming from the quantum domain, but also we are having members from other domains like investors, academy as well, and we are having large companies as small, medium enterprises as well. But the majority, as you can see here, is coming from the domain, the area of SMEs. Now, QuiC has more than 250 members. The majority is coming from EU, of course, but there are companies that are coming, and there are entities that are coming from countries outside EU, like UK, Switzerland, Turkey, Israel. And also nowadays, QuiC has initiated a new activity, a new approach, opening the participation to include companies from other territories around the world. So we are having members from Canada, US, and other countries as well. My company is this one, it's Synthesis. We are working in the domain of integrating, we are trying to integrate and support the quantum communication domain using other technologies like AI. Okay, so what are the activities of QuiC? What QuiC is doing? QuiC is very active. It's a member of ICQI with Q-Star and QCI from Canada. Also, QuiC is a member, is one of the elected members of the high-level forum. It's a forum that is trying to support and advise European Commission in the domain of standardization. Also, QuiC is a member of the MSP, and QuiC is producing its yearly strategic industry report, a report that is reflecting the approaches and the opinions and the needs and the challenges that its members are facing. Furthermore, QuiC is producing recommendations on European documents, like the recently research recommendation document that has been produced by QuiC, where the members of QuiC have expressed their recommendations towards the document that the European Commission has released. So, in QuiC we are having four expert groups that covers communication, computing, sensing, and enabling technologies, and we are having 5 verticals, horizontal groups that covers IP and strategy, standards. This is the working group I'm leading. Also, other areas like industrial applications, training, and IP. So, let's have a look at what the activities of the working group of standards, what exactly we are doing, and why we exist, and what is our aim. So, the members of this working group, it's an active working group, are more than 50 members. We're having a monthly meeting. And our role is to become, of course, our aim is not to produce standards. This is a role of the standardization bodies, but our main aim is to become a middleware between our members, the QuiC members, and the standardization body. So what we are doing is we're informing the members of what is happening in the standardization domain. We're informing the members of what's happening in ISO, in JTC 22, JTC 3, ETSI. And from the other side, we are trying to support also the standardization bodies by collecting requirements by our members. So we are collecting requirements to try to identify their needs, and we try to inform the standardization bodies about these requirements in order to initiate new working items. So in that respect, what we have done is that we have initiated and set up a survey where we collected the requirements from our members, and we informed with this survey the results of the European Commission. This survey has been published, and it's part of the strategic research agenda. Also, we are participating in HL high-level forum. Recently, 2 days ago, we are leading the chapter 10, the awareness chapter, and we produced this chapter where we try to suggest activities of how European Commission can support SMEs and researchers and increase the awareness in these target groups about the standardization in order to increase the workforce of the standardization bodies. Furthermore, we are participating in the multi-stakeholders platform. We are members of the Rolling Plan. It's a group that is collecting the activities of the standardization bodies around the world and in EU, and is producing a report. It's online. Also, we have supported the MSP with the research and information group, where we tried to identify methods to support target groups in order to increase the awareness of these groups. Nowadays, also, we are members of a new group that the MSP has initiated in order to support the update, the update of the standardization report of EU. We are going to support this report in the ICT chapter. Furthermore, we are trying to inform and train, if you like, policymakers. So recently we had an event with policymakers from European Commission where we try to help them understand what is happening in quantum and what's happening in the quantum standardization domain and how EU can help us. And of course, we are participating and we are contributing to the strategic report of QuiC. We are writing and we are taking care of the chapter of the standards chapter. So, recently, a few months ago, European Union released its strategy towards the quantum future. The 5 main points that European Union identify as core items for this strategy concerns research and innovation. European Union believes that it should support research, academic research and basic research. European Union also intends to support quantum infrastructures. It's very important. That's why European Commission has initiated the EuroQCI in order to support horizontally the quantum industry, the quantum internet, quantum secure technologies. Also intends to support furthermore the quantum ecosystem by supporting companies, by supporting funding the companies with venture capitalists and public funding. And also, European Union identify the need to approach quantum technologies with a dual use approach, meaning that these quantum technologies can be utilized for public benefit, but also for other domains like defense, for example, and security. And the last identified area where European Union believes it needs to to emphasize its efforts is the quantum skills in order to produce a workforce for standards and quantum technology. So, what QuiC did, QuiC produced a report, and this report was well received by European Commission, where in this report the key elements that QuiC produced and emphasized concerned the intent to leverage public tools to attract private capital. So QuiC believes that Europe should, with public funding, to support venture capitalists in order to produce and support the activities of the industrial companies in Europe. Furthermore, QuiC believes that Europe should support also the quantum industry backbone, meaning that, Europe should support the implementation of the technologies, but also have to support the basic research and, of course, somehow facilitate the process from the basic research towards the implementation. One of the key issues that QuiC emphasizes is the sovereignty of the quantum sovereignty, meaning that Europe should build its own infrastructures and its own research on quantum chips, produce infrastructure in order to support that, also produce its own devices in order to keep this quantum sovereignty in Europe. Furthermore, QuiC believes that Europe has to cooperate with global players, so it can't create a fragmented ecosystem, but has to open the connections with global areas like South Korea. And, of course, emphasized the need to invest in people and quantum skills, not only to train, but also to retain. This is very important for QuiC, for Europe as well. And as I mentioned, one of the key issues that this recommendation paper emphasizes is that there is need somehow to support standards as well. It's not only to support technologies, but also standards in order to increase the interoperability, because it's very important, because based on these standards and the interoperability, we'll be able to have connections and cooperation with global players. So why there is need for standards in quantum? Why? This is the main question. The answer is quite simple, because through standards we increase this trust. Okay? We increase the interoperability. We increase the ability of these technologies to be included and incorporated into existing infrastructures. So without standards, this is not possible. For example, a QKD device should be able to communicate with an encryptor, how the encryptor will get the keys from QKD device. So we need a standard this to be possible. Another issue is we need standards in order to increase trust. Okay, how I'm going to convince a buyer to invest in quantum technologies without certification, or how a vendor can convince a buyer to sign an SLA, service level agreement, without being able to confirm that this device has been certified, has some standards. So we need that in order to increase trust as well. And of course, there is a need for roadmap. Why there is a need for roadmap? Because we can't do everything. We can't standardize everything. We need somehow to find the optimum path towards increase the diffusion of quantum technologies, meaning that we have to identify our priorities. The next steps, in that case, roadmap is very important to us. In Europe, there are many efforts, and have been released enough roadmaps. For example, the Quantum Flagship has increased a roadmap. The Sensenelec JTC 22, where I was an editor there, released a roadmap. QuiC, as I mentioned, is releasing yearly roadmaps. And what is the landscape in Europe regarding the standardization? We are having the two main bodies, ETSI and Sensenelec, and Europe is actively involved in and supporting its members to participate in ISO-IC JTC3. So Europe has a very, let's say, active presence there. Furthermore, in Europe, we are having a coordination of other activities. As I said, we have the MSP, we have the high-level forum, we have QuiC as an industrial partner, we have European Commission. So all these entities are trying to cooperate and exchange information. And we expect within 2026, Europe promised to release the quantum industry strategy, the quantum strategy, sorry, for quantum technology standards. So we expect next year to have the strategy of Europe for quantum standards. Let's see what exactly, it's very important milestone towards the standardization domain in Europe because this roadmap will define what exactly are the priorities and what Europe should, where Europe should invest in the next years. So let's have a look, a closer look at this standards roadmap, because as QuiC and as working group in QuiC, we have identified challenges. Okay, this roadmap has many challenges. It's not just a document that will be released, but we have, this document has to take under consideration many issues. So first, this roadmap, we expect it next year. We believe in working group and QuiC that industries should include from the beginning and not allow this roadmap to be purely academic document. So it should be industry-led document, okay? So we asked and we are trying to communicate this to European Commission. We need harmonized standards. We don't believe in other approaches. So we need standards that are harmonized with other members of other territories around the world. So we believe on that. So this roadmap should emphasize the work of standards to be conducted within the SDOs. Furthermore, we need these standards to avoid fragmentation. As I mentioned, this is one of the key risks. We need standards that, we need devices, if you like, that will be able to communicate with devices coming from China, from South Korea, from Japan. We need this kind of approach. And of course, Europe should become a global player in this domain. Okay, in quantum communication specifically, we need this roadmap should consider open access facilities. So we don't need networks, QKD networks that are closed to outsiders, but we need networks that are open. I mean, any SME can utilize these networks. We need certification. This is the most important aspect that QKD domain needs at the moment. We need certification. We need, because there are off-the-shelf devices. You can buy QKD device out there, but we are not sure exactly if this QKD device is doing what it's promised to do. So we need someone to tell us that this device has been certified and there are specs that this device is adhered to. Also, as I said, this EuroQCI network that's being developed around Europe should be open for SMEs and startups to validate their network. At the moment, it's closed. As I said, we have a company, Synthesis, which is developing our own AI KMS system. But if now we want to validate it, believe me, it's not easy. There are QCIs around Europe that are closed, so somehow this should be open. And of course, we need to, this standards roadmap should consider the timeline, because on 2030, European Union believes that we'll have operational QCI networks in Europe. So this standards roadmap should consider this milestone as well. For sensing, we need cases that the quantum strategy roadmap for standards should include the industrial use cases to drive this roadmap, aviation, navigation, energy, etc. No, it's not become theoretical, but it should focus on these use cases. And for quantum computing and simulation, it's very important. Industry needs standards in order to benchmark the performance of the quantum computing. As we will, I'll mention later, this is one of the key issues we are facing at the moment. Since now, we are having what the vendor is arguing that is happening. But we need benchmarking specs that are not vendor locked. We don't need a major, leading vendor to dominate the benchmarking standards area, but we want a benchmarking framework to be agreed with all the members. This is very important. Of course, we need certification for these quantum computers. Why? Because, sure. 5 minutes more and that's fine. Okay, because we need also to increase trust. Also, we are having a roadmap for chips and for space. Space is a very new area in Europe, and we believe that this should also be emphasized and supported in this quantum roadmap. So let me close this presentation with this pathway. So how Europe should proceed in order to address all these challenges. Europe should identify the direction and then create an action plan. So what are the key, following my presentation, what are the key challenges you are facing? First, fragmentation. We should avoid that. We should create products that are open for other vendors from around the world to operate. We need certification in order to increase trust. IP protection, very important for the SMEs and the sovereignty in Europe. And of course, we need to address the timeline pressure, because Europe expects on 2030 to have the first viable products and have results from quantum technologies. In order to do that, we need to understand where we want to go. What are the key issues? First, we have to address interoperability. Industrial participation in standards, this is very important for us. We have to secure the global leadership through cooperation. For us, cooperation is very important. We need to secure supply chains. Also, this is an important aspect. And of course, invest in people and skills. So this is where we want to go. Okay. And how we are going to do that? First, empower SMEs and industry to be active in the standardization domain. Without that, industry will not be able to secure its interest in this domain. And then support quantum standards, very important to support the standardization domain, asking Europe to fund calls and projects around this domain. And of course, we have to somehow shape the 2026 standards roadmap. This is also important for us. And finally, this is Europe. What are the key aspects from Europe? What we want to do and how QuIC is supporting this journey towards supporting the industrial domain in Europe in the quantum standards. First, we have to have global influence by actively participating in standardization bodies. Increase the skilled workforce, very important. And of course, secure the IP, creating a sovereignty ecosystem. Thank you very much.